So we are back to video part 2, where we are going to level up our security, okay, using JavaScript. So we first of all we will be working on this one. Where are we? Form validation here, and then let me expand this one. So we were implementing this one are all done through HTML. So now we need to improve with the JavaScript, because JavaScript can help us write some logic how we can connect these two password. They must match, okay, with each other, and then we can try to see when we click here we want to see some information, and then maybe we need to check if none of these one match. We need to display some message here. Instead of don't hesitate, let it be changed to some other information. So without wasting time, let's go back to our JavaScript. So we have our JavaScript already running here. Okay, let me reopen it again once more. Very good. So I've gathered some resources to guide us go through. Okay, but before everything, we need to make some constants here so that we can be able to call everything there. So we need to see what are we bringing from our from here. This one is not there, it's by mistake. Okay, so we have the ID for form. Okay, want to bring form in. Then next we need to check. We have two password. Okay, it must match by each other and try to see whether exact value exists. Here we need to bring the ID password 1, ID password 2 for this one. Then the next you need to check the message here. You can check the class. Today we are going to talk about document.query selector to enable us to go with the class, not always ID and message ID. So let's first of all bring everything here just like normal. To bring other JavaScript constant, okay, have a const. We have what? First we need to bring form. Where are we getting form from? It is coming from document. We are always inside DOM document. Okay, dot get element by ID. Of course our form has got the ID called form. If you want to verify, just go back to HTML, scroll up, you see here not container. We are talking about this one here, it's ID here. So get element by ID because of this one. So next, what are we bringing? It talks about password 1, password 2, because you want to match all of them together to see the difference. If not, then throw the error. If true, then send us information pass 1, pass 2. Okay, then we can say const password dot get element by ID. Okay, and then here we can say password, but it's there password 1, so we can type here password 1 also. And then here we can duplicate this one, see, Control V, here we can post. Then here you see it's throwing error because the name of variable or const or let should not be the same, it has to be different. So just double click here, highlight this one, make Control D, okay, so that you can highlight the second one. Then move your cursor to right, okay, delete this one and just put 2. This one is auto rename. You can see you can rename two things at the same time without wasting time. Renew this one, then run to renew here. You know, we are all about simplicity. The world is all about simplifying life to people. So our JavaScript here is to simplify so that we make sure that a user send us a valid information that we want from them. So you don't escape this form by not sending. You know, some websites are very restrict. They ask you to put this ABCD up to Z. If you don't put them, you will not send anything. This is what we are doing. So by mastering this video, you will be good at secure your own form you insert your website. So by the time we do some database, you guys are just good how to handle everything. So here we go. So there's nothing here change, but we need to check what can we do with this information. First of all, we need to start with the function which is going to help us, okay, the function that can help us either store the data or check whether the valid information exists or whatever. So that function, let's try to bring it down here. Let's say this function called let's call this one a process of form data. Let's call something like this. Okay, then let's say the word function. Okay, function. Then we can say this one called process form data. we pass in our parentheses, okay, then our curly bracket, then here we put what we need our function to do. And remember, this function here, we don't need even to call it down here. We don't need to make this one like how we call the API and then we call this one here and when it's loading. So this time we are not doing that one. We are not fetching API here. We are just writing some logic to run our function goes well. So first of all, what do you want to do with this function? This function is going to have three functions, okay, three functionality. Then it's going to contain some three functions inside, so that means we can define other function outside second that one. So let's just put the skeleton. How will it look? So first of all, we need a function that's going to help us validate the form. We call this one validate form. So we need to put just a function here, function, we call this one a validate form. Let's put this curly bracket completely like this, and then here the declaration goes in. Next, what do we need to have? Another function. Okay, we need to comment this one up. We are going to make another function which is going to help us on what? On store user information like this. So inside this one we can say, okay, our function also will be called function store user. Let's call this one store user, and then pass the parentheses, then our curly bracket, then some declaration. And then inside here we need more functionality apart from function outside. Let the function be inside, and later on we will call all these function inside here so that they can work. So the validating is going to help us validate this information at another level, because we don't want someone just to click this one and pass for us information. Apart from this one, this will require just a level of CSS of this one HTML. It's not enough. So by adding our JavaScript to this one, it's 100% going to help us getting exact data we want a user to send us. Okay, so let's go. Here we have three function here, which is the structure of what we are going to do, which is very good. And then next here, let's start with this one. Here is the last function, which is going to carry these two functions inside. Let's start with this one. First off, you can see here very well, if you click on this one, it's just telling us please fill in information. Let's try to check here. Console log here. What are we saying here? Nothing. Wait, what if we fill this one? You know, I told you guys to install this one in the first video. So if it is difficult, go to this one, make a Chrome. Let's first of all do this one to make it easy for you. Chrome Web Store, go to Web Store. Okay, type here fake filler. Before there's no internet, but now everything is a fake filler like this. Fake filler with double L, yeah, like this. Space like this. It will search for this option here, the first one. Click on it. Okay, my case is already installed. It is going to tell me to remove it, but I don't want to remove it. It's already there. Or let me demonstrate once more. Let me remove it so that I can. Okay, so for your case, you are going to have this option here, add. So click on add to Chrome. Okay, add an extension. Wait a moment. So you will have this option here. Fake filler has been added to the Chrome. So once it's added, you need to go to this one, extension symbol, just like a game. Click on it. Go and check where is fake filler. Okay, here's my fake filler. I can just click here. It's already there. Now I can be able to close this one, and then now if I want to fill this one all without wasting time, I will just click here on this one, fake filler, this one. Okay, let me refresh one more. Okay, and now this is the form. Let's try one more. You see, everything filled for me just because we validate our form in the other format. So we just remove this one and say maybe tree number here, separated by a dash. This one become green. That means everything is validated. But see what will happen if I click on this one, it refresh. This thing refresh here. I don't want this one to be refreshed. Remember, you have your Facebook. Okay, do you have Facebook? First of all, Facebook. I think I have Facebook, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, assuming a Sequoia account has been logged. Okay, this one will take us long. Assuming you have a Facebook, okay, in the Facebook you have this option here, you have some messenger stuff, someone send you text or whatever message, just click on that message, it will open a small box like this. Then maybe you say to the person, oh, hello, hi, you have the send option here, click on send, the message send without refresh everything here. Here will not be refreshed. Assume you have video here or photos you're scrolling, it's not going to refresh the entire page, but this one will be sent. So first of all, we need to make sure that we control this one. You just see how it's very tiresome, you know. You just send something here and it went and refresh the entire page. Just see, we don't want this one to happen. So how do we control this one? So to control this one, we need to add inside this function one parameter known as event. This event is going to help us here. Okay, we can just pass it here like event dot prevent, okay, prevent default, then we call this function here. That's one function is added here, event dot prevent default function here. So this one, it will prevent this form from processing, do not refresh. Okay, let's go once more. Remove this space, 1 2 3 dash, then here click register. You see it happened, but nothing here refresh. See, just look here, nothing here has been refreshed. Or just check here, up here, form validation, check here, this one is not going to refresh. One more, click on fake filler, and then this one somehow tiresome, but let's just add this one there. Click on here, you see up here seems to be doing okay. Maybe you have something to do with the documentation. Let's go submit event. So here is the documentation. I'm going to make sure I combine them together with the with the source code, so you guys can just click and read more about it. So here is the submit event. Note that submit event fire on the form, because inside our form here we have submit, the type of button is equal to submit here, so it can fire the entire form. We don't need to worry like to put here on click, add some function. This one you guys can see them in advance, why we are going to use them. So just by having the type submit here, it fired the entire form. The entire form here can be fired just from this function, this button here known as register, which is attached to a button with the type of submit. Click here, it fired everything here, it control the whole form. So this one is very important, so you can read about it. Okay, type is equal submit inside it. However, the submit event which send indicate submit action has been triggered include the submitter. So here has no much things to be saying about it. So here on event listeners, that means we need to have a function that's going to do that submission. That's why you guys can see here nothing is changing. We almost do everything very correct. Okay, almost. So the game here is to show you how the errors comes in. Okay, not to run away from error. We almost do everything, but still it refresh. We pass this function very well. Okay, this function is well passed, event.prevent default, which is okay, but we need to add event listener down here so that it can listen to our click when we click on that register. So how do we do that one? Since we have our form here already called, then we just come down here. Here we can say okay, form, okay, form dot, we say what, add event listeners here. Then inside we pass event listener on what? On click? No, ours is on submit. Okay, we add this one, but what function are we calling? We need to call this process function. Once that one is happen, the meaning here is like, okay, fire this function when a submit is click. That's the meaning of this function here being passed here as the second parameter after the first one here, which is a submit. Hope yes, making sense. Then let's push this one a little bit, or maybe you can comment this one out to make everything look good. So you can say this one event listener like this. So let it listen to the event happening here. Once submit is being clicked, then we have this process data. This process data is the one calling this one. So now we are going to nested this one. Nested, I mean put this one and this one inside this function, because once this submit is clicked, all the condition is going to be verified here. Okay, so let's first start developing this one a little bit further. First of all, let's take a look. Is it confirm or not? Is it going to refresh or not? So again here, remove this one, because the format say tree number, then you separate by dash. So click here on register. You see, everything goes well. But how can we be sure? We are supposed to log some information here to prove like it is true and it's already sent. So here you can see the errors. Okay, real time last message has closed before. This one is a network error. Okay, don't also get surprised of this one. This one is just showing the network error and things like it's not the real error. The real error will tell you and where the mistake even or number which line it will show. So by doing this one, you can see everything is green and it's not showing red. That means everything is well validated and it is registered, but it's not refreshing, which is okay, which is what we want to achieve, because maybe you can have some page here, we don't want to interrupt the entire page. So like this, we have prevented that one from refreshing our entire website. So let's move this one to the next level. So in the next level is very simple. Let's first of all declare a variable up here. Okay, you can call it let or var because the value can be changed. Okay, you don't need to complicate yourself, but me I like putting let. Call this one is valid. You want to check whether everything is valid. Okay, but initially I want to put it false. Why? The reason I want to put it false because by default, okay, whenever you log in to any website or just go into any online stuff, you first default you did not fill any information. It has to be invalid. Remember in our class there we have valid and active. If you go to our CSS, you can try to see something here. We have button. No, it's above input, before input, form, container. Input. Okay, you have this information here like input valid, input invalid. This one is good. So by putting that validity stuff here, it's going to trigger all these classes because it have already red line whatever. Then we are going to beautify by using JavaScript to add those styles there already. You can see the style already exists, solid, red and green. You see this one is already done. That one is just basic. Since we are level up with JavaScript, we will also increase the level of it. So that is where we are. So next, what can we do? Since we have already put our is valid a false, so here we go to validation. We are going to deal with the validation. First, outside with the validation, let's try to check something on internet. How do we check this validation? Okay, so here let's say is valid. Okay, is valid. Remember calling that is valid from not autocomplete. Is valid equal to, remember this one is a global. I can call it anywhere. I can call it inside this function, I can call it inside this one because it is not limited. What if I could bring this one just inside here? I can call it here, I can call it here. So it's just like a variable or a let or a constant defined inside this one, a function. So it cannot be called outside other functions, so it remain only inside. So it's blocked. Okay, it's blocked just within that function is available. But if you want to, if you assuming declare this one inside here, I can't call it here, I can't call it here. But since it is very global outside, so I can call it, I can change the value of it without any problem. So even if you put var here, it will do the same thing, it will change. Okay, var, but the problem will be only with the constant. Its value is not going to change. Okay, so var and let is just good, nothing wrong about it. So is valid here is going to check for us. But what do we want to check? Since we have our form here, maybe you want to check our form, is it really valid or not? But we need another function that can help us achieve that one. So I have do some research here. I have some this one here. So I went on to this one. I'm going to share with all of you. Okay, it's inside the Mozilla. Okay, Mozilla, these people who developed the Mozilla Firefox, they are the one who have this documentation with them. They talk about the HTML select element dot check validity. Check validity is a function here. Anything here written and with the bracket, okay, or parenthesis close, is called function. So they say this one is a function. But what it happened with this one? So I've challenged all of you to read everything here. Okay, we say here this method check whether the element has any constraint, whether it satisfies them. If the element fail its constraint, then the browser fire a cancelable invalid. So it's going to check whether it's already good or not, whether it is valid or invalid. So if it is invalid, the browser will cancel. So let's copy this function here, and let's try it inside our project here. But what do we check? We want to check our form, so we pass in here form dot, we pass this one here validity, but we call it back as a function. So what do we think we can see? Since the information here is valid, is a boolean, because initially it is false. Remember, a boolean return false or true. So here it's already false, so we want to return information based on the validity check. It's going to check whether our form is validity, meaning is it well filled with all the necessary information we want. If it is well filled, yes, it's going to show us message, but we want to see this message in our console log. We are not interested in putting that message on our reader screen so that anyone can read, or the user. We just want to check it with our this one console log. So we can pass here this parenthesis, but here remember to put console log. CLG is a shortcut. Okay, remove this one, the first one. Okay, like this, console log. So let's try to see what will happen with this validity we are doing here. So console log validity, want to see whether it is going to be true or false. This is the thing we're expecting to see from our browser. So what will happen if I click here register? Nothing, because by putting require is not going to leave us to click this one unless everything is well completed. So here is completed, but if I click register, still this phone is not going to allow me, because the this one, the format is already described there. So let's try put any number here in the beginning tree and separate by this one. So this one is validated for us, when the condition is what we just specify in our HTML. So feel free if you want to change. If you go to your HTML here, where is phone, tell have tell after email. Okay, tell here, type is tell. You say it must contain 3 digit because of this 3, but it has to be between 0 and 9. So it's not necessary to put 0 0. It can be 0 1 0 2. You can mix it with 9 or 1. Just it must be 3 in the beginning, then separate by this one, or remove that one every. So if you're tired of that one, maybe you can remove this one all out. Just so what's going to come in, we know it's going to be number, it will not be text. So if you say what, maybe you can say, maybe if that one is disturbing you, maybe you need to comment this out. It's not comment. Okay, let's first of all delete this one. We come back for it, Control X. Okay, so let's try to see, refresh. Let's see whether it will help us or not achieve what we want. Okay, now we refresh. Let me try to fake fill it. You see, it takes any type of number, but the button here is going to take even this one here, the text. So we need, this pattern is important to limit every nonsense of text there. So we need only pure number. Okay, just is okay, but make sure you can share this format like this 3 or 4. You can remove them all out. You can still take 0 to 9. It will not disturb you, but I'm okay with this format. Fake fill is best for us for our developing purposes. 1 2 3. Let's separate this one. So let's check what information is coming here. Is it going to be false or true? If it is true, that means everything is well. We have no any problem to check the validity of the form. The form is well as it's required, but it is conditions in the HTML format. So let's click on register. Click on register here. We are not seeing anything, but we are seeing errors coming. Okay, that one is not a big deal. Whenever I see this one, it's not a big deal. Okay, response was received, good. Here click nothing. Okay, that one is good there. Let's see our JavaScript, what's happening there. We are saying form dot check validity, which is coming from who's calling me. Okay, all right, so we are there, check the validity, and then from there validate the form. So maybe the problem we are facing, we did not call this form inside our add event listener. Add event listener is coming from submit, and submit is here, process form data is what is happening once we click on submit. Yes, let's call this our validation here. Now we are linking our second function here. Yeah, we pass this one there, not like this, just the name of it. The name is validate form. Copy this one, bring it here, paste there, call with the parentheses so that it will be work together here. So we put this one there. Let's see let's level up. So I'm here just to show you guys everything from beginning, so that you guys don't need to worry. It's going to be bored, but this is how it's okay, but it will be fine, trust me. Just after some time everything will be just very easy. So there we are. Let's give it a try. Say this one like this. Okay, let's go with the 1 2 3 space 0 like this. So once we click like this, yes, we are getting through here, selling us through because the form is well filled. Now if I say the validation of this one, the name less than 1, put with the J, it's not going to allow us to go. But if you say want to this one to go, but it still is not going to give us the correct information there. So assuming we go to our index here, we want to bypass that one by passing this one here, no validate. Okay, no validate. Then it will not prevent us from pressing this one. This one can be allowed to be pressed, but are we going to get correct information there? Let's click on this one. You see, we get the information false. That means our validity is working 100%. Even if we disable it from here, yet we can click, but it won't tell us true, which is correct. So we are going to remove this one. Okay, this one can weaken their form if you want, but it's good for practical. It's good so that you guys can know everything. So we are here just to make you guys become pro after, if you follow everything very well. Okay, so here we go. Let's just put that on. Okay, we are here in our JavaScript. So our validation work very well because we call this function inside our function. When the click is trigger, everything is going to work here under this submit, and this function is called to function. So everything inside will work. Now this one will work. That means still we are going to link this one in the future here, so that everything will work at once. But we need to improve our validation further, so we just go there and add some more functionality. Okay, yes, now we go there. So what we want to do, what if you want to check if it is not valid? What do we want everything to happen for us? First of all, let us not go to if. Let's try to beautify our form when it is not valid. Okay, then from there we can go to if statement and condition this one here. So let's try to bring some other information. What are we going to bring? Before we need to bring, I think, our message container, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go back and see. Remember, your HTML will help you, guide you without making any mistake. Okay, level 4, password 1, password 2 is already given. Okay, we have them. Okay, we have message container, which is the class. Remember, how are we going to call this class? And it is not an ID, and we need this message. Good. So we go to our JavaScript. Up here I want to call the class. So I say, okay, we can call this one const. The reason I put in the constant, I'm not going to change them anymore because they are just limited. Let's call this one like message container. Message container is equal to document dot get element. But here we're not getting element, it's already a class. So what do we do this one? It's going to be something with this select query, because it can enable us to select all the classes and we can modify the classes. Okay, it's going to be select query or query selector, all the same. Then we pass the name of the class that we have. Okay, if you type any mistake, it will highlight for you and give you some option. It's query, not selector. Query, it's query selector. So to enable us to select the class. Then get element by ID enable us to select ID only. This is the difference. So next, what we want to bring, we need to check our HTML. Okay, we need the message. Good, message is ID. It's not going to confuse us. It's very simple. So we need a constant agent so that we can use this constant later. Const for message, which is going to be document, no, not create. No, you guys know how to use create in the previous the other first video of Friday, last weekend, sorry. Here is going to be get element by ID, because it just get some ID, and we pass these parentheses and pass on our message inside. Very good. So let's say here now we check the validity. What do you want to do? Let's check first the message container is having what? Message container here is having a text. Okay, we have the message, no issue. We don't need message container. Container stands for div. Here we need the message ID, which is here. Okay, let's check our validity here. Message dot what do you want to do with the message, or what is the content inside? I think message dot context. The context enable us to change this text. Okay, this text here, don't hesitate, we can change it by putting this property message dot text content. Okay, text content. Then we can specify the text. What do you want to say? We want to ask a user to enter everything if he did not enter, or we can say please not enter password, enter, or please fill out the form correctly. Just very simply like this, correctly. Maybe you can pass this one if you want. All fine, depend on you. No rule here that can stop you down. Okay, so this is the first thing I want to do. Okay, if we check everything, it will send us this information, and then next we will condition it with the if, so that it doesn't go without the condition is being implemented. Very good. So what next do you want to do? So we want to change the style. If you can remember, here is already style in black, so I want to change that text to red. Okay, maybe I can say, okay, here can say again message. Okay, message dot style. You type dot style if you want to make some CSS modification style. But what are you style? Are you styling the text? Are you styling the color of it? Or by the way, when you put the word style, then the next thing is going to be the HTML declaration. What are you changing? Is it the border radius, those colors, hover, whatever? You're doing this one with JavaScript, just like drinking water. So we have a style. Once you have that style, though, you say maybe I want to change the color because it is already in black by default. So I want to change this color to what? I have to specify with the code. If you put it empty like that, no, CSS not going to work because we are using JavaScript to read the CSS functionality. So you put this double quote. After I put this double quote, what you can do here now, you can specify the name. I want this one to be red. Okay, it has to be red. Next, do I want to do something with this one? Message container. Yes. What should I do with message container? Maybe I want to change the border, because this one is a div. If you remember, this one is already div here. Message container is a div, is a class. Maybe I want to put that border to be red, because if you see here by default it's already black, everything is black, so I have to do something with the style of it. So I have just to go up here to my JavaScript. I can say, okay, get me my container here. I will take it down here. After this line, I can say, okay, this is my message. Not all. This one's copying everything. Copy, scroll down here, message dot, I can even put a style. Okay, then I can change what am I supposed to change? Is it border, background, border, radius, whatever? Then for me, I just want to put that border line. So to put that border line, we can say border color, then I can say red again. So say border, type dot border first of all, border, border, maybe color. From there I can say this one should be red. But if you make this stupid nonsense like say border, you pass this thing of CSS here, it's going to throw you error, it's not going to work. Okay, so avoid this one. Make sure you put this one like this. The first one start with a small, then the second one go, even if it is a background color, is going to start BG, background is going to be one, color will be like this. The format, follow the format. In CSS style, yes, you can type it the other way because it is just automatic. It can show you even auto predict. Here it can predict, but make sure you follow this style. Dot style, you will now put your CSS here, then you put hash. If you know this one for write like the hash code or hashtag, just put hash here, then you type the numbers or mix it with the letter. So here we're not interested in putting that one, we're putting red just directly without wasting time. So this is what we have. Now if you see, we are going to find more challenge. Assuming we want to save, it's forcing us to put information, then we put information. After I put all information, okay, after I put all our information, you click here, you see it's going to send you this message, please fill out the form, but everything is well filled. And even if we log in, we are going to see the information true. We are going to see this on true, that everything is good, but it's going to send us this message. So in order to control this one, we need what? If condition, because if followed by condition, then do something about it. So in our if here is very simple. Okay, we need to add if here. We can say, okay, if, okay, don't specify what condition do you want to check. If it is not valid, don't send us that message. Otherwise, return nothing, or just return. Return here means it will get out from that function. It will not go to next function. It will just stop there. It's not functions, condition, sorry. It's going to be condition. So here we go. We say, okay, what condition do we say here? Is no, I'm sure Madupe have told you guys the symbols here, not valid. Okay, it's a condition we want to check. Then if these things are not valid, give us this information all here, like change the text color, and then let it be inside the if there. Okay, remember some if have else part of it, so we don't want to go up to else there. So we just say here return. Return means just get out from this condition and stop running any other condition. If I have other condition like another if, is what it will tell us. Assuming I have more if, there's if here that have else, another one that have else, what can just enable us to go like this. So that is it. So now if you try to see here, you see there is error here. This one is not closing. We don't know where is the closing. But if you click on this one is telling us this one is ending here. That means this function must be closed. Okay, so we copy this one. We made error. Okay, copy this one and then paste it here like this. You can see this yellow match with this one, and this one match with this one. So our statement is correct. Okay, so here it will help us if the thing is not valid. So we are going to see this message, simple, because it will tell the user please fill out the form correctly. Secondly, it's going to change the color to red. This one will be red. And then again, or thirdly, you are going to see this one is going to be red, the border. So let's give it a try, assuming this is what you feel. Okay, then let us not do that one. Register. Okay, see here is not correct, like this. And separate this one. Let me first copy this one so that next time we don't worry about rewrite it. Let me copy. Okay, click here. You see everything is correct, but if this password didn't match and click here, everything seems to be okay, but nothing here is okay. This password didn't match and it's not showing us that error. Just this one is checking if it is go at least 12, okay, or 6. I said the minimum is 8 character, something just close to this one. Okay, let's say this is our password and then this one is our password, and click here. Go to disturb. Oh, please match the format requested. Okay, let's refresh. Like this is correct. Remove this one. You see this one is now half. If I click and then try to put our format like this, this one seems to be okay, but it is not okay. Okay, this is 7, and this one, even if I remove one to say okay it is 6, like this 7, but it is not correct. Okay, but it's still showing this green, so that means our password is not secure. We cannot really try to trigger or know what's there. See, I'm adding even others, even it's not showing me that red line. That means our JavaScript need to intervene here and help us with our this information. Now if we go and log this validity, this one here, and say oh, if that one is being checked, everything log for us validity information. Okay, CLG stand for console log, not double C. CLG console log. Okay, log this one for us. Let's try to see what information are we getting. Since we can autofill this one with 000, not A, 000, like this, and then we register. You see it's telling us true, but what if I minus one password out? It's still going to say true. See, it's lying like our password is okay, but it's not okay. If I remove another one, this one it will show error. if I pass something different, you see I'm even typing JR whatever, it's going even beyond the minimum, and if I click here, you can see it's still telling us true, meaning our JavaScript need to intervene here to deal with this password. So in that condition, even if you don't fill this name correctly, like R, because it is not reading it, I click here, it will force me to put something. If I now click here, you see this password is less and this one is much, it's not corresponding, but it's telling me true. So we need to handle this case, so we need to add more validation based on our password now to see whether the password is match or not. So in that case, to check whether the password is match or not, it's going to be very easy, because remember we have password 1 and password 2. Since they are different, okay, by ID in the HTML here, you can even confirm. Go to your password 2, the ID is password 2, then you have ID for password 1. So here I say minimum of 8 character, and here minimum of 8 character, but there you can see one is more than 8, one is 8, and it's telling us true. So how do we deal with this one? So to deal with this one is very simple again. So just go up to your JavaScript. Here we need to declare another var or let. Okay, let's call this one like password match, just to check whether the password match or not. Password match. So initially it's going to be false. Okay, I don't want it to just be like true, it has to be false because we did not enter password. Then we need to check based on the condition. So down here you see this if here, this if close here already. So down here, okay, I can say password match function, if its condition is better, password match, I think is this one, password match condition. Try to make comments so you can understand yourself better. So once you send to someone, it's gonna be very simple to understand. Okay, so we have this one here, password match. So how do you go with yourself? If, okay, password 1, okay, is equal, we are going to put triple equal because it's going to make sure, check the value, the size of it in the array format. It makes sure everything is equal. Okay, the address number is equal, the text equal, the number which is found inside is equal. Okay, if password not equal to password 2, I type here 2. Remember password 2 is coming from up here, password 1, password 2. We are going to change the dot value. We are checking their value. Are they have the same thing? Did you type Ali in the first one and Ali in the second one? Is it all the same? If that's the case, okay, I have to say here by default is what is false. Here we need to set this one to true, equal to true. When it is true, then we need to do something. Okay, that's the meaning of what we are trying to do or what we are achieving soon. So if that is the case, make this one true. But if it is not the case, because it's under the condition, then this false is going to be there automatically without any wasting of time. Okay, so this is what we do with that one. So assuming you checked password 1 dot value is equal to password 2 dot value, I think this one will be good. Like this, pass another value here, dot value is the correct information, like this. Password 1 dot value equal to password 2 dot value. So set this one to true. Password match is going to be true. Okay, when it is true, what do you want to do? Okay, password 1, we need to style the border color to be green because it's already matched. Password 2 also, the border of that one will be green. The border should be green. So it's just like what we did up here, but for our case we need to use pass 1, pass 2. Okay, if that is true, okay, you just say okay here, pass 1 dot, you put the word is style. Okay, you need to put the word is style, then you say the border color is style. Okay, dot, you just say border color. Where is border color? No border color. Start with C to auto complete for you. This one must equal to green because it is true. Okay, then you copy this one also. I mean this line all Control C, Control V. Here is going to be pass2. Okay, password2 dot style border color is going to be green. Yeah, because all of them are already set to be true, because the value of the password1 match with the one of 2. But if none of these one is true, none of them match, then we can say else here. Okay, our else here. Okay, our else is going to be, okay, since none of them is not true, then copy this one, paste it here, but change this one to be false. Change it to be false, and then here get them back again, but in this case you want to change their color to red. Okay, set of green D to select two of them, then type dot here red. Control D to select two matching what element or name. Okay, now we have checked this condition here. If the value of password1 is equal to password2, assuming your password1 you type Ali, in the password confirm password you type the word Ali, which is coming by ID of password2. Okay, that is confirmed password is Ali. If all of them match, good. Now they change the border color to green. Okay, like the default that we have already there, but now this JavaScript is adding more security on that one. And then else, okay, it is none of the information correct, then we have match this one to false, style 1, style 2, this one all false, 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 false. So make this one red, this one red, and then the if statement is good. We check if, and the else here we just have if, and then we have this return. Return here means we stop this one, this function after we check the condition. If none of them is valid, okay, send us this information and return this one there. Finish. Now if you want to see, maybe you can say okay, refresh, not refresh, it's auto refresh for us. Click on this one. We are going to be tired of this one. Let's now do another technique. Copy this one, here delete everything, paste like this. Let's check what happened here. We get true. Okay, everything goes well. But if we do something like this value on that one, try to do, you see, we are getting this line, but it's telling us true. That means we are somehow coming. Now instead of telling us green, now our information seems to be working. Now what do you want to do? We need to add additional information here to tell us like, please make sure password 1 and password 2 is matched together. So how do we implement that one? So this is another challenge coming in. So here we need to check double things at the same time. Is the validity exist? Is the password match at the same time? If these two conditions match, then we need to pass the following CSS style. Then from there we can see everything go well. So in our case, if you don't want this one to happen, maybe you want to throw later a message here, this one, okay, message here, so we can use our text content. So we go and check here which one is handling message. Okay, it's called message itself. Okay, we can just copy this one, message. If you want to put that information, it's very simple. Check the validity with the first. If okay, here if it is failed, then you say message.text content. Okay, message.text content like this. Text content is equal to, then you say something like make sure the password match, like this. Maybe put full stop. Maybe you can change this one to red. Okay, you can change this one to red without any problem. Dot, you say style, dot, you say color. I just want to change the color of this one, not this one, equal, then you type the word red. Save like this. Like this, everything seems to be okay. Okay, here we have a message content style.com. Well, very good. So let's give it a try one more and see whether this message will tell us something. Okay, let's fill this one. Okay, let's just copy this. copy this one, fine, copy this one. Okay, these are the experience, you guys. Do not run away from mistake, always make sure I find the solution. So here we click like this, our information is true, good. Let's try to play with the password. You see, it's even telling us now the good message, make, oh, we forgot to put sure, but it's okay, you guys can understand why we're gonna make sure. The word here, sure, mistake is inevitable. So here we go. Wow, again, okay, autofill can help us. 1 2 3. This one must match, good. Click like this, we get our beautiful true there, which is okay. Try to mix out the password, not much. Click, you see, make sure the password match. Very good, but still we have our challenge here. Why the password is not good but it's telling us true? True supposed to be everything is successfully done. So in this case, okay, we need to introduce another condition to check the validity. At the same time, we're going to check the password match. If two of them goes well, we send the message here, successfully send or successfully filled. From there we can say 100% our video is almost going to an end, and then we can say everything seems to be good with the JavaScript. Okay, no giving up. So here you can see we put return option here. You return here, you just don't go to next condition. So here we have else and this one condition. If you don't want to go to this one, to else part, maybe you can pass a return down there. It can also stop it without any problem. So this one is completely free, but the good thing, yes, we need to pass it down here. So whenever we check the first condition, it is true, it helps us execute only this one which is inside. If it is not, it's going to execute this one. But assuming we are going to have another if down here, it's going to come up from this if, entering to another if. Assuming you have another if here, if the condition like this, we have another if which is going to help us check the validity and check the password match. If two of them exist, then we are going to do something. So here's going to disturb us. It's going to start running here. The first one run, if it's not successful, just get out, leave us without executing this if, because if you have so many if, it's going to disturb. So that's why, like in advance, you guys will learn something to do with the switch. Switch is good because it can only run under some one condition and the rest all will fail, otherwise to return the default. So here this one will disturb us. It's going to run this one, so else going to check if it is not correct. Since we have another if, it's going to come to this one. So to limit this one, then coming here, we just pass here return. Okay, pass here return. Return here means please just stop, don't go to the next. The condition is fine, don't go to the next. Okay, this return will stop it like what we put it there, so that it doesn't run to another if. So here we can put another condition. So if you can think what type of condition you guys have learned with the Madupe that can enable you to test two different things at the same time and give us the correct information, what condition is that without using else, if, whatever? Okay, that one is a simple challenge. Pause the video and then check. If not, then let's do it together. So we need to use the end, which is the double reason. End is a condition which is very strict. It's going to make sure that it tests both two sides is correct. If you can see here, we are testing validity. Okay, and at the same time we are testing the password match, so we can run these two conditions here and see the final result. So let's go and do it with this one. So to do this one is very simple. You guys just don't need to worry about like the things hard or whatever. No, it's not hard. Okay, forget the word hard out from your heart. If you think about it, it will stop you. So let's check the is valid condition. Why is it writing in Arabic now? English United Kingdom, keyboard France. No, keyboard English United, no, keyboard France, sorry. Okay, France keyboard. Is valid? Yes. Is it valid? Okay, if it is valid, does the password match? That's what it means here. It's going to say, okay, if this thing is valid and at the same time the password also match, good, do this condition. This one is not going to have another else because the condition is very clear. If none of them exist, it will just fail there and it will not run anywhere, and we will not put even return there, because that one is the end of if. It will not go up again and start running all the if within the function. Okay, so this one is a very strict condition. So if this one exists and everything goes well, nobody will jump under the condition we specify. So here we go. Almost, guys, the video is getting complicated, but it's easy. Okay, it's going to be easy at the end of the day. So we need to style our success. In this case, let me comment this one. We need to style a success information, just like this. So what do we do here? Okay, we need to show a success message to the user that his information is successfully sent into the server or sent into the database or well received, some nice message to make the client very happy. So this is how we do this one. Very simple again. Okay, trust me, nothing is difficult in this world. Okay, we go message.text content. We will need to first of all change our message context. Where is it? This one. Or just copy this one from there and then paste it here. If that is the case, okay, our message will be congratulations. Okay, congrats. Let's just put this one, congrats, but it cannot make more sense. Congratulations, your data is successfully, but this one is too long. We don't need to do congratulations. Also all your data, feel free to put yours very long. I don't want just to fill that one. All your data is saved. All your data is saved. Just put congratulations. We don't want to complicate the things, because that message box, I think, let me check the size of it. See, this place is very small, it cannot take a lot. This place of hesitate, so let it be a congratulations. Simple. But feel free to put message like congratulations, your message is successfully received, or we'll be in contact with you as soon as possible. One of our clients will get you back. So just feel free to do that one. Okay, feel free to do that one. Désolé, je vais t'appeler après. Okay, good. Put this one, and then maybe we need to change the text color. Okay, so you can bring this one here, copy this. Most of them are just copy and paste again, but our condition is very important with the if. Here, let the color be green. Okay, let this one be green. Good. So what next can we do with this one? Because if the two conditions match, send us information, congratulations, and then let the message here be also green. Then after that one, I think we are good to go. Yeah, let's give it a try. Let's go. Let's say our password is going to match this time. We don't want to complicate the password, only the phone we need to correct. Then this, like this, paste, pass that one, click on this one. Wow, you see, beautiful, congratulations. And here is already true, assuming we complicate everything here, we register, we get that true. That means we need to log this one out first of all. From here we don't need to log in, and we know already it's not going to go. Okay, even if we complicate the password, even if we complicate this password like this, we first have that congratulations here. Now if we go and complicate, we are not going to have congratulations, because here is telling us already red message is being thrown, and make sure the password match, which is very important. And now we have seen how we can do this one in a very simple way. So I can say, let's stop our video here. Okay, the source code is going to be uploaded with all the documentation here. I will compile them all in one place and then mix them, send them to you. So this video is very important, guys. Make sure you guys follow or watch it 2 times or 3 times. It can help you to handle such such problem here. But now no, one thing, we're going to continue, not finishing. So we need to install the data. How sure are we, okay, that this submit? Okay, let's do, sorry, one more. Okay, let's go with this technique. Copy this up to, okay, technique doesn't work here. Let's go 1 2 3. Yes, sorry, it's okay. And then have this one. Okay, congratulations, everything is green and it's here good. Even if we say we want to log out this on the data, but how can we log the data in? You see, we cannot know. Where is it? Through the name is handling this one called Wing George? Is it the phone number handle this one? We cannot see here. So what can we do here next? Here's very simple. We need to define this function, which is already defined, store user. Okay, since we have a store user, so what can we do with this one? Okay, is the next challenge, so that we can be able to see whether what we define is bringing the names for us or not. So we are almost getting there, guys. Okay, take your coffee, get ready, we finish. This one is almost there. So here we need to define our function there, which is already exist here. We have already defined, and I'm sure we call it down here. Okay, we need to call this function down here before okay, or we can develop it, then we call it later. Fine. Here we need to have a const. This const is going to handle this user, and inside user, maybe you are going to pass it has an object. Okay, we need to pass the user has the object. So here, what are we going to get? If you check our HTML here, everything has ID, the ID of phone. Okay, everything have the ID of email. Good. Everything ID, good. So how do we get this one? They are all inside form. The form ID here is capable of getting for us the name, the email, where is it, name, phone, the one for email here, ID of email. You can get the ID of the other. That means it's like once you have your style, you can have the parent, then you can select the child directly. So we are going to use one ID to select the rest of the ID. Okay, so let's say here is name. The name we are the one defining, it's not the ID. Here we are going to define name has an object inside the user. So this is name. So we need this name to have what? The information, but that information must come from the form, and the form is coming from from this ID here, sorry. So we copy this one, the name we define as a variable. We go down here where we have user. Okay, here we have our form, but form is coming from where? It's coming with the word name. Why? The reason is form is an ID, and ID is targeting the name. The name is also an ID. That means ID to the child of ID, like what we do with our that one. But you have the name here already, but what are you getting? We need the value of it. Okay, the value is what the user enter. So this is what we want to do, and that's all. Then we just copy this one here, copy, then we paste. What do we have name, we have a phone, email, password 1, password 2. We are not interested in storing password 2, just one is okay, because the condition makes sure all of them match together, so we don't need to match the second one. So you can paste here 1 2 3 4 like this. Save, they will come in this format. So we just change this one. Okay, our VS Code is going to help us. Click on this one, Control D, second one. So what do you want? Phone. Make sure I put them in order, or unorderly it will work. Okay, don't worry like by name it followed by phone or whatever. Put it, just all of them must appear here. There's no order here. So Control D, we have name, we have email. Next we have password. We need only one password, we don't need two passwords because the condition is well declared here. We need password. Okay, maybe we say password 1 just. Okay, password 1. Then after password 1, what do we have? We can check maybe from the URL. Very good. Website URL is coming from URL. Password 1, email, phone number, name. Okay, so this is going to be, double click, select this one, and then change this one to URL. If I'm not mistaken, let me verify one more. Where is the URL? Yes, we need to define a name. All our input must have name properties, okay, so that it can handle them. So here we are going to say name. The name that we have, it must come with the name, okay. Our name is carrying name because we want name first of all from a user. Then whenever we reach here for phone, we say our name is going to carry the word phone, okay. Don't complicate your life, it's going to be phone. Now if you move email, we need to define name again. Here it's coming with the word email. Then if you scroll down here, website URL, you define name. Name is not equal to the first name only, okay. It's going to handle URL. Then you have password 1 here. It's going to be password 1. The name is the one coming from the database, or we are sending to database. If you remember, when we are querying something with the API, we first get their names. The names are the one handling the text, okay. So here we want to use them to enable us handle everything here. So by saving this one, I think up to password, okay, up to password we are good to go. So but now we have it there in JavaScript. We have email, it's coming the value of the email, good. Password with its value, password 1, and then URL, okay. Everything seems to be okay. Even if you call this function here, you will see it's not going to work. It will work, but it will not show us the information, okay. Assume we call this one function down here to process form data. We save like this, and then we click on it, we fill it, and then we make sure our format here. But feel free to remove that condition here so that you don't waste your time with this one. Click here. Yes, the function is click, everything is okay, but we don't see any information here. So what can we do with these ones? Can we see whether this one is completed or not? Let's try to log this thing here and see what information are we going to get. CLG console log, pass on this user. So once this user is passed, it's very simple. We will now put the condition and try to see here. Never save the password, okay. Fill this one automatic, remove this one, which is very difficult. Validate that one there, click on here, register. Yes, by clicking here you can see what we are getting here. We are getting name coming from email. The email is handling the email, the name is handling the name here. The name here is handled by name. What about phone? The phone is handling that one. You can see they are just in alphabetical order, okay. You don't need to worry like here before. Maybe you say you want to bring name first, email, or email first. No, here we are getting something well organized. This one follow the alphabetic order up to you, the last. So like this, you are successfully done. And you see, this is your object. This is like when you call an API, so you get information. So if you want to call this one now back, okay, if you want to call this one back and display somewhere down here, is very easy. First we need to set this one into local storage. From there we can call this object and we can now create a very nice file here. We can put the name of the person who sent the message or who signed up, his phone number, his email, website, everything, even the password. But this one is not going to be the part of this intermediate. It's going to be in advanced, because we are going to teach you guys how you can secure someone password. Assuming now this is the password someone just signed up with it, and you as the person who worked there, you are going to see their password. This is what we don't want people to know. We need to hash the password. We need to create a function that is going to generate what, 16 digits of any password, mixed letters, characters, symbols, so that nobody knows the password. But once a user put his password, he can log in without any problem. So this course here is only in advanced part, but I don't think whether we will cover, because that one needs some good level for you guys. So I encourage all of you to work hard so that we can reach to any level that's supposed to be given to you. So if your level, guys, is somehow down, then it will stop the journey, or the journey will not go smooth. So this is the end of our form validation in the front end. So inshallah, if God help us, maybe we are going to go to this one advanced. Okay, then in advanced level there, maybe we can be able to do everything in a most successful way and try to do some authentication in database. But once we are going to move to database, we are going to level up our JavaScript very strong. Secondly, we will teach you database, how this information like this will be sent direct to database. Next, you guys know how to fetch data already. We are going to use some other method techniques to level up our JavaScript, to call that one and display inside your dashboard, so that you and your clients can be able to have some communication between the users and the owner of the company, or whatever you're trying to achieve by the end of the day. So I can say this video has come to an end. Make sure you watch it. This is the part 2 of today morning video. So not morning, it's 14 16, yeah, 16 something. So let's say bye bye. If anyone have problem, please don't fear to reach me. I'm always there to help all of you. So bye.